Hello and welcome to our webinar today. Today we are talking about archetypes of protection specifically and why right now is a good time to call upon them. I don't need to tell you what's going on in the world right now. I do want to acknowledge that I feel like it's been a pretty tough week. I think out of all the weeks that we've been through, the self-isolation and dealing with the pandemic and the results of the pandemic, which also include financial as well as mental fear and anxiety, that we're kind of hitting a wall. I read an article about it, how the mental toll is, the mental aspect is taking its toll. My mom called me and was like, it's just this week is just starting to get to me. Me too. I was like, you know what? I don't know, like it's just all coming together and feeling a lot of things. Now, just because you have an outlook that's positive or optimistic, which I do, which I've been preaching, which Dr. Pillai has been talking about, doesn't mean you don't go through bad times. Doesn't mean you don't go through emotions and things that you don't need to necessarily suppress, but acknowledge. So now, actually this week, more than ever, probably, is the best time to be connecting with archetypes. Because what can they do? They are solid, right? Like solid in the sense that they're stable in their qualities, in what they represent, in the aspects of each of them that give us some power. In fact, it's said that all the archetypes are an aspect of the one Lord, the God, the Godhead, and that they all, and because we're gods and goddesses, even though we don't always feel that way, they actually reside within us. And Dr. Pillai has talked about when an archetype's or God or God's birthday comes along, it is when it's an opportunity to birth that being, that the qualities of that being within us, so that we can kind of, I don't want to say pull them in because they're already there, but awaken those aspects. So if we look at, and I'm going to go through several archetypes today, but if we look at, let's say, Hanuman, he has the qualities of utter faith, total and utter faith. Now, what if we had total and utter faith? Would any of this bother us? Not at all. We'd be like, God's got me. I'm good. Done. Let's just go through the motions. Let's figure this out. We got our day-to-day to do, but God has got me. Now, if we all had that level of faith, the faith from Hanuman or Jesus, the faith of a mustard seed, he went to the cross and died because he knew his Father wanted that. He knew there was a reason for him. Now, if we just had that, we'd be good. But we don't. It's hard. I saw this post that said, if a small virus can do this much damage, imagine what the faith of a mustard seed could do. And Dr. Pillai has been talking a lot about how this now is the biggest opportunity for us to go to God. This has been his consistent message. He said it in a variety of ways, but basically, now is the time to go to God. And I kind of feel like if we don't go to God now, this isn't going to end. Like the more people who go to God and start praying, get on their knees and surrender, that's kind of the purpose behind this. It gives, that can shorten the amount of time we have to go through it. But people on the earth are stubborn. But we're glad you're here because that means you want to go to God. And this is, so on this webinar, we're going to teach you how to go to God in the form of archetypes. Why do archetypes exist? Basically, I can't give you the full history of the variety of religions using different archetypes and why they've been formed. But what I could say is I believe, and Dr. Pillai has said, that it is a way for us to relate to aspects of God. So if I saw an aspect of God that represented wealth and positivity and beauty and purity, I'd be like, oh, I get it. I can get that being who looks kind of like a human, and she can give me things that support my well-being, my adventures here on earth. Then I can connect with Shreem, Brzee, Lakshmi, right? I can connect with that goddess. Or if I can connect with a being that has the head of a monkey, it's a monkey head and some parts of his body, and he represents faith, At least there's something tangible I can visualize, I can see, whereas opposed to the all-knowing, all-being power of the Lord, which is formless. It's a little harder for us to relate to than something that looks a little more like us or acts a little more like us. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not acting and looking like us because that's their limitations. They're acting and looking like us because that's how we relate to them. So Dr. Pillai has mentioned several archetypes, so many, and I will go through just a few today. And there's three I'm going to, well, there's three that's on the page that we promoted for this webinar, but I'm actually going to do more than that because he's been talking about a lot. But let's start with the sun, because that's astrological. And not only is it useful in this period of time, which is, you know, what's happening in the world, the pandemic, but also what's happening astrologically where the sun has moved. So I just have my trusty calendar, which everyone should have, by the way. And the sun moved into Aries on the 13th of April. And on that day, Dr. Pillai made a couple videos actually to talk to us more about what that means and what we should be doing. So the sun represents the father. It represents leadership. It represents bringing health, bringing light into your life. So we're starting with the sun because we need the sun to live. It's the source of our life on earth. And because right now with the sun in Aries, which is the first house of the zodiac, it's the new year, and that's a place where he's exalted. He likes, he's happy, means he can give more energy, more blessings in this place. Is an ideal time to talk to the sun, to tap into the sun. How are ways we can do that? Well, for one, the sun salutation. If you do yoga, this is the best time to do sun salutation every day. Specifically at sunrise would be even more powerful. If you're not into yoga, you can still do the sun salutation. You could do a few, just a few poses. The other is to chant the Gayatri mantra, which Dr. Pillai gave us in a video. And of course, there's versions of that on YouTube that you can have totally free. So you want to look up Dr. Pillai's Gayatri mantra. In fact, I might be posting it in our chat link now. And you'll want to chant this all day, any time of day. But if you can do it specifically at sunrise and at sunset, it feeds even more powerful because that's when the sun is transitioning. And so when the sun is transitioning from rising and setting in our day, it has even more energy for us, more power for us. So now we talk about power times a lot in Pillai Center, and how when we do something at a certain time, it makes it even more bountiful, more powerful. So sunrise, sunset, Gayatri mantra, do the sun salutation, yoga if you can, any time of the day, but specifically at sunrise would be even better. And there's a prayer that Dr. Pillai gave us many years ago, and so I'll paraphrase it when you're speaking to the sun. And he said, so when the sun is rising, you can go see it, go greet it, and pray to the sun. Sun, you have so much light, so much power. Please fill my body, my mind, my soul with your light. Clear me out, purify me, and bring me the light body. So what is this prayer doing? It's bring the sun's energy power into your mind. It's kind of always going, your body, which needs cleansing, and your soul, which needs to be more uplifted as much as possible. Excuse me, it's never happened before on a live. Excuse me. So the sun is bringing us the ability, and then the light body, filling us with light so that we have no disease, no depression. Right? The sun can give us all of those things. So that's the sun. On your viewing page, there's also a program called Awaken with the Sun. Now, on each of these archetypes that I'm covering today, I'm going to give you the starter, like this is how you can get started. And then if this particular archetype or being really speaks to you, you can go a little deeper and purchase the course that Dr. Pillai has done specifically about this archetype or this planet or this being. And so it's called Awaken with the Sun, and it's on the page where you might be viewing this. And it's specifically created for when the sun moves into Aries. So that's why it's a really powerful course to do at this very time. And he talks about the Gayatri mantra, what it means. He does the mantra, the meditation, you get all of that. So you can go check that out if that's something you're interested in doing. The next archetype that I want to talk to you about is Shreem Brzee. So I mentioned just before, that's an example of how Shreem Brzee can I use her as an example. But specifically, Dr. Pillai has been talking about why Shreem Brzee is so powerful, so important right now, is because she's that mantra, Shreem Brzee, and the Shreem Brzee goddess Lakshmi, who's the Shakti behind the mantra, is the ideal mantra right now because it can sustain us. It gives us sustenance for the Maya, this earth, the physical, the material world that we consume every day, all day long. And she gives us the wealth aspect of it, so our material comforts. And maybe maybe she'll pour money into your checking account, or maybe she'll give you what you need, like to sustain you, to support you. And then she'll also deal with your insides, right? So everything, the inner becomes the outer, the inner becomes the outer. Matter is spirit manifested. Matter is spirit manifested. So whatever we got going on in here, how we're feeling, what we believe, what we're doing with our daily practice, that will manifest outwardly. And so if you want both inner joy and abundance and outer joy and abundance, then this would be an opportunity to chant Shreem Brzee. And so we're supporting you to do that by I was doing daily live videos on Instagram and Facebook every day for about, I think it was 18 days. Now we're cutting back to Sundays and Wednesdays on Facebook and Instagram, and then Fridays on YouTube. So we'll be putting that schedule out because there's actually specific topics I'll be covering. So for example, this Wednesday, we're talking about why, because it's the new moon, we're going to talk specifically about how ancestors are blocking your wealth and what to do about that. So that's Shreem Brzee, and that's how we're supporting you. And also on this page, you will see a link that says archetypes. I think it says archetypes of, what does it say? It says archetypes to support you during this time. If you click on that, that's a whole page of archetypes. In fact, this is where I'm going to go and show you some more, but there's a few things you could also purchase or absolutely free for Shreem Brzee. There's a collective that we have that has 5 different calls per week. And there's free programs that you can do, plus joining my free calls. The next archetype I want to talk about is Varahi. Why her? Well, first of all, these are the 3 that we promoted most for this webinar, which is what maybe you came. But she's also an aspect of Shreem Brzee. So Dr. Pillai says she's Mahalakshmi. So we have Lakshmi, which is more of your benevolent, your Shreem Brzee goddess, who is depicted very sweetly and with lotus flowers and gold coins, and she wants to give, and she's very beautiful and very generous. And then we have Varahi, who is a goddess with a boar's head and weapons, and she is fierce, and she wants to fiercely protect you. But inside of this concept of archetypes is that there's divine beings, gods, goddesses, who incarnate or take an avatar, which means they kind of transmute into a different form. So we have the main godhead, let's say this one's Lakshmi, then she has another form of her that comes forth out of this main godhead to transmute into a different aspect. And so this other aspect of Lakshmi is Varahi. She's a boar, she burrows, she's very close to the earth, which means she can give you earthly benefits, supportive for your resources, your money, things you need in life to sustain you. Dr. Pillai says all the wealth is in the earth, right? Like gold and diamonds and oil, it's all under the earth. It's a lot of what our economy runs on. natural resources. So she's the goddess who can do that. Not only can she's not very earthbound and burrowing and being able to give us the resources we need to sustain ourselves, but she can also bring us a protective shield to help ward off any negativity, destroy our enemies. She's a fighter, right? In fact, she's the general or the leader of the army for Lalita. Lalita, another goddess, who's kind of the primordial goddess of all goddesses. Varahi is out there, the one leading the army in protection. So you can call upon her more specifically for protecting your health, protecting your wealth, protecting your mind, protecting your body. You want to call upon her to protect you from all negativity. Now, Dr. Pillai in October of 2019 kind of channeled some really amazing content about her meditation teachings, and it was all very impromptu, not planned at all, and it was during 9 Nights of the Goddess Navaratri, and we put that into a course. And because we feel it's so important for more people to connect with Varahi right now, we're launching that course and giving 5 live teaching calls that accompany it, so that you can have community and build what you need to learn Varahi really well, do the practices, and have your community be part of your process. Because we all know that community is so important. Sure, we can go off and do things on our own, but when we have support, reminders, calls, a very active Facebook group, this helps us to engage even more. So we're doing this. This is all starting on May 1st. So it's May 1st through the 31st. It happens to be 5 Sundays in May. So we'll be doing 5 different live teaching calls there. So that is to get you through May. And if you purchase it now, you get to begin it. You get to begin it before the live aspect of the program starts. So you're welcome to get started. Also, we pretty much cut the program price in half. It was $147, now it's $75, so that's $72 off, and that will last until April 30th. So you have a little over a week and a half to take advantage of that, and it's right before the program starts. We wanted to really, it's not early bird because it's not early, but we just wanted to give as many people an opportunity to join as possible, because we feel it's so important right now to be with Varahi. In fact, the other morning I was doing the live videos and I was kind of feeling like a little dumpy, and I didn't really want to get up and put makeup on and get dressed. And then I just was like, okay, let's go. And then it came to me, oh my gosh, she wants to be heard today. And so she basically was like, all this energy came in and came through, and then I talked all about her. So there's another video more specific all about her that I talked about for giving her her power times, what she likes to receive in offerings, more details. The mantra, we did a meditation with the mantra. So that video is on YouTube and it's on Instagram and Facebook. And if it's not on YouTube, it will be soon. But that was her kind of like coming in and being like, yeah, this is happening. And I was like, oh, okay, we better get this course happening. So we did. We put it all together for you, and here it is. And I'm really proud that we're able to do that. And I do want you to know that Pillai Center has been working extra hard the past few weeks during all of this, and we're hoping everyone is safe at home and sheltering in place and listening to your local guides. And we've been working as much as we possibly can to offer you as many as we possibly can, free live daily calls, free live videos, free live daily chanting calls for the coronavirus. Nashi Mashi is being held every day, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Mohini has been breaking down Dr. Pillai's teachings and putting them into bite-size content meditations for you. There's been weekly prayer calls, which are, the last one is going to be next Sunday. So much stuff is happening that we've been tailoring specifically towards this period of time to support you as much as we possibly can. So it's our honor to do so. And if you have any additional suggestions, do let us know. The other thing I wanted to mention, which I'm kind of talking on the point of how Dr. Pillai and Pillai Center have been doing what we can during this time, is Dr. Pillai announced a couple weeks ago a course called, it's Mystery School 2019. So last year's Mystery School teachings for 1 full year of intense, amazing, deep teachings. He wanted them made available to everyone this year at a immensely reduced price. And we put that program out. And then after we did, things kind of got worse. Things kind of got worse financially. And then we thought, you know what, let's cut the price even more. We took, I think it was another $70 off per month. That program is called Invoking God, Saints, and Angels. And there's a link on this page too. This talks all about archetypes for an entire year. Talk about, you know, we're talking here about archetypes of protection, archetypes who can kind of be with you, beings that you want to make relationships with, and not just archetypes. In that course, there's angels and siddhas and a variety of beings that he brings for us. In fact, I think the first module is all about Agastya, the Maha Siddha, who basically gives us everything in terms of the teachings for the Siddha lineage, the perfected beings. And Dr. Pillai calls him the North Star. Like, he's the North Star if you're looking for someone to guide you and be with you. So this course has 12 different, I think, archetypes or so. No, 10 different archetypes, gods or angels, gods, saints, and angels. And we reduced that price as well. That price also ends on May 1st. So through April 30th, that price goes up just a little bit. We wanted to encourage people to kind of take some action there. And the course itself won't start until June 1st. So you have another whole like 6 weeks almost before the course begins to be able to join. But this is an amazing opportunity. We've never made prior years mystery schools, which is Dr. Pillai's premier program, year-long, available to anyone except for the people who've purchased it and been guided in that course live. So, okay, so that's what I wanted to say about that. Now we're going to get a little bit more into the other archetypes. So I'm going to share my screen just to give you visuals of them so that we can go through it a little bit more. So this is a page, it's called Meet the Archetypes Who Can Support You Now. And we wanted to put everything in one place that Dr. Pillai had been talking about so that it made it just easier for you. So here we go. Archetype. So we start with Hanuman. And I'm showing you because I want you to also see him, see how beautiful these beings are and how powerful they are. Just visualizing and witnessing the imagery of the archetype can bring you energy. I talked about before how Hanuman can bring us faith. He had such faith that when he was in the army, Rama's army, and he had such faith that he would write Rama on a stone, throw it into the ocean, and then that stone would float. And then that's how they got to Sri Lanka in order to get there to save Rama's wife Sita from the demon king who had her captive. And this is how he built the bridge. Now Rama was like, oh, really? Okay. Took a rock, wrote on it, threw it in, and it sunk because he didn't even himself have enough faith in himself as Hanuman did for him. So in him. So this is the faith of Hanuman. It's pure. It's a devotion. It's absolute love. He's bhakti. So you can read just a little bit about him, which I'm basically explaining. And then here's some mantras. So in each of these sections, we're giving you the archetype, a picture you can see, the mantras that you can use, and then a course. If you want to go deeper into it, here's an online program that Dr. Pillai has done in the past, and it brings you, teachings from Dr. Pillai as well as a meditation on these. Hanuman achieving the possible. He's known for achieving the possible. Narasimha. Narasimha happens to be one of my personal favorites. He's an avatar or aspect of Vishnu. Remember, we talked about avatars or incarnations. He's a very unique incarnation because he did not have to be born. He just sprung as a full-grown mixture of man and lion from a pillar, because this boy who was so devoted to Vishnu, this boy was very devoted to Vishnu, was being harassed by his father, who was a demon. And the father said, oh yeah, well, if your God is so great and he's always around, because this boy is chanting constantly like, God, you're always here and I love you. And he's like, if your God is so great, he should come right now. And then the boy was like, okay. And he called upon Vishnu. And then Narasimha emerged. Now, this demon who was the father, also had a bunch of boons. He had done a bunch of practice, and he'd gotten boons that said he could not be killed by a man. He could not be killed with a weapon. He could not be killed when it was daytime or nighttime. He could not be killed inside of a house or outside. A bunch of things that were like neither here nor there, which kind of made it like, if you kind of, he was thinking like he was being very clever. I want all these things because that would pretty much make me invincible. No one could kill me. But because of the faith of this boy in Vishnu, out came a being who had all the qualities who could kill this demon. So Narasimha arrives, and he emerges from a pillar. So he was not born from like a human or a being. He then went to kill the father, the demon, and he was on this kind of porch. So he's neither inside nor outside. And he used his claws, which were not a weapon. They were his claws. He was not a man nor a beast. He was a human and a lion put together. It was right at dusk time. So it was neither day nor night. And so Narasimha came because of the faith of the boy, and he destroyed this demon who happened to also be the boy's father, that was giving the boy grief. Now, what I like to do with these archetypes is, especially one like Narasimha, who's so fiercely protective, if you're feeling like you have a hard day, you want to ask them to come, just like the boy did. You want to ask them to come and say, okay, can you just come and protect me? Can you just come be with me? Get rid of these negative thoughts, get rid of these ailments I feel, bring me my wealth. Like, just call upon these archetypes. Varahi is really good. Narasimha is really, these beings will act for you if you love them and are devoted, just like Hanuman. If you're in love and you're devoted, then these aspects of God can come into your life and they can make changes. And that's what we want them to do. And this is why it's so important right now. So that's Narasimha. This is one of his mantras. And then I love this course. It's one of my favorites. I remember when Dr. Pillai recorded this course, and I literally just saw, not in physical form, but like energetically saw Narasimha around Dr. Pillai, like his whole, like behind him, like this immense head of this lion. And I was like, whoa. I don't usually see things. I'm not too tuned in, but I just felt the energy of this Narasimha being all around him and right behind him, huge, immense. And as Dr. Pillai was literally speaking and creating this course and recording it, this is when he actually did it. And it was just so, so powerful. I think we also have, Fire Labs inside of this course that Dr. Pillai has done privately, that you can go and watch and listen to the mantras. Dr. Pillai is listening, chanting these mantras, making offerings, calling upon Narasimha. Narasimha's birthday is also coming up on May 5th. So an even more powerful time. If you do get this course, you can do the meditation specifically around May 5th, kind of get even more of his energy infused into you. In the course, I actually do a testimonial on how Narasimha came into my body. It was very wild. Anyway, I give that in the course as well. So as you can see, Narasimha is close to my heart, and I love this archetype as well as that program. Muruga is the warrior. He's so handsome and powerful. And just look at him here with his mighty veil. The veil symbolizes his mother, Parvati, who gave him this weapon in order to destroy negativity and demons. Specifically, each archetype has their own thing. Muruga can open your third eye. Is the archetype of the third eye. He also can remove and help deal with litigation, health problems, and destroying your enemies. So if you've got any of those going on, Muruga is your one. And Dr. Pillai has done so many teachings on Muruga. We have here some of his mantras, Sarvana Bhavaya, Murugan Kumaran Guhin. And then there's several courses. So for here, we have a variety that you can pick from, and a variety of price points as well. The Awakened is a 6-part course. It was intended to well, Dr. Pillai created it during the 6 days of Muruga, and that usually happens in like September, October, I'm sorry, October, November. That one's a little more expensive because there's a lot of content. So if you really want to go deep, that one's good. The Muruga, the Pleiadian god, this one I believe Dr. Pillai recorded during Muruga's birthday. So I think his birthday's coming up. Yes, it is. It's coming up in June 4th. So this would be a good one for that period of time, as well as now, of course. That one's less expensive. Muruga Immersion is when Dr. Pillai had a group impromptu, like Muruga was like, Dr. Pillai happened to be in India, and Muruga was like, you need to have a retreat, and Dr. had no intention of doing this. He was like, okay, because Dr. Pillai just acts upon what the gods and goddesses tell him to do. So he's like, okay. So then like we're all like, oh my God, we have to put together a retreat, and 20 or 25 very fortunate people arrived with 3 weeks notice to this retreat, and it was all recorded and captured on video, which was such a blessing. And the most recent is Ascension to Bliss. This was recorded on the Thai Pusam, which is a Pushya star on the full moon in January. And it's a very special day for Muruga. It's when he got the veil. And Dr. Pillai talks very much about the veil, how powerful it is. He does a meditation that brings this bliss energy, this amrita through the body and the mind. And so this is the newest course. We're actually going to cut the price on this one. It's not there yet, but we will be. And if you purchase it now, we'll refund you because I want it to be as of today, but we just didn't have the people on the weekend to update it. This will become $75 instead of, I think, $97, of which it is now. And this is your most recent course. And there were just live calls that just happened. So you'll get the recordings of all of those too. Dhanvantri. Okay, I'll start going a little faster because I want to run out of time. Dhanvantri is another incarnation or avatar of Vishnu, and he's specifically for health. So if you're feeling like you have health problems, isn't he beautiful? If you're feeling like you have health problems, he's the one to call upon. And this mantra is new. Oops, let me just refresh this because I think this was updated since. Here we go. So this is where you can listen to the mantra. And I was just playing it. It's brand new. Mohini recorded it and Donna put music behind it, and it's gorgeous. So this is totally free. You can grab that. And then the Gates of Heaven course is really beautiful. It's where Dr. Pillai goes through the 10 different avatars of Vishnu chanting their names. Dhanvantri isn't in this course, but Vishnu, because Vishnu is the one from which the aspect, he's the main god of which Dhanvantri is an incarnation. We wanted to give you at least this, and then Dr. Pillai does go through the other 10 of the more prominent, well-known, I should say, avatars of Vishnu. Jesus, Dr. Pillai has been talking about Jesus and the Holy Spirit, connecting using faith. Ruach is the mantra or the sound to call upon Jesus. Recently on Good Friday, Dr. Pillai did a course for a private little group of people, and he wanted to put it available for $10. So it's super cheap if anyone wants to hear more about how the Garden of Eden consciousness can be used right now, how you can infuse that into you, and a new meditation technique for Shreem Brzee. It's a short little meditation, but it's very powerful. So this is basically Dr. Pillai's gift. He recorded on Good Friday just a couple weeks ago, and here it is for $10. Secret Teachings of Jesus, a little more in depth, a longer meditation on connecting with the Holy Spirit. Also, Dr. Pillai did recently do an Easter Sunday free webinar, which was fantastic. Sorry, we should put that up here too. I totally forgot about it, but we'll add this, but it's on YouTube. I talked about the goddess Shreem Brzee. It's a gorgeous picture of her. Shreem Brzee, Om Shreem Brzee Lakshmi Namaha, her mantras, a free starter kit. You can join and then the free Facebook and Instagram. There's free weekly meditation, chanting calls that you can join. Lots of free stuff for Shreem Brzee, plus the collective, which is low price point. And here we have Varahi. So I wanted to make sure you saw this beautiful picture of Varahi and her imagery. Again, like connecting with the mythology. Dr. Pillai calls it mythotherapy. And the imagery brings us power. So we have her mantras and then her course that I mentioned that I'll be leading actually one of the calls. We're going to have 5, so we'll have a variety of teachers, but so that's what it is. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you, where are we? Okay, this is the course that I mentioned. I just want to show you what it looks like for invoking God, saints, and angels. This is the program that is a year long. We actually, I forgot even to mention, we actually we extended this early bird package with like daily remedies, which is going to start happening for you for 1 year. They're Ramalingam or light body health energy, health remedies, as well as a monthly fire lab for attraction and relationship healing. So a huge remedy package, absolutely free when you register by May 1st. If you're really wanting to get into a year-long supportive course for archetypes and divine beings, this is the place to be. If you're wanting to pick and choose the other page that I just showed you, which all that free stuff and then some of the low price, low cost courses, that's the place you want to go. But if you're really wanting to be like kind of all in with like archetypes, gods and angels, or archetypes, angels and saints for the year, this is where you'd want to be. So here's there's 4 components. I wanted to drop down real quick into who we're going to be talking about on this course. Agastya, bliss, problem solving, health. He's a guiding light. He's dedicated his life to helping humanity. Dr. Pillai, very, very close connection with him. Dattatreya, that was, in fact, it's Dr. Pillai's most recent spiritual name. He's the protector, the preserver, the destroyer, all in one. Dr. Trey, you can just say Om Dattatreya Namaha is his mantra, and he's beautiful. You can search more on him for his powerful energy. He gives miracles. He can literally give miracles. Tirumular, he's a siddha. He's given, Dr. Pillai has released mantras from him. A very prominent saint, siddha. Prajamale Swamigal, Dr. Pillai talked about him last year quite a bit, and he had this being had he lived not that long ago, and he had such a close relationship with Muruga. He was able to create all these miracles. So he's a living example of when you have a really close connection with an archetype that you can have them come to you. You can work miracles because of this faith and relationship that you have. So Padre Swamigal, because he was a more recent saint, he's pretty fascinating to me, at least. Ganesha and Shiva, I won't go into too much detail. We've talked about them a lot. We've talked about Shreem, Brzee, Angali. Dr. Pillai talked a lot about Angali last year. Supernormal powers, ultimate wisdom. She's a compassionate goddess who can protect you. Perfect time to connect with her. Varahi we spoke about, and then Saraswati for wisdom and intelligence, creativity. All right, so that's all. We won't go into all the details. You can check out this page if you like. There's a bunch of ceremonies that get included with one of the levels of the program too. Okay, so that's okay. So I hope that we've covered a lot. We covered a lot. We covered a lot of archetypes. We covered ways you can get started right now. We covered ways that if you want a little bit more to go a la carte with the courses, you can go deeper per archetype, or if you want to go all in 12 months, Dr. Pillai and the teachings from 2019's Mystery School, that starts June 1st, but you have to register by May 1st in order to get all those amazing bonuses. If you need an extension, just call us or email us, let us know. We want to do as much as we possibly can to support you during this time. So if this is like on your wish list, just email us and let us know if you need an extension or something like that. There's Another bonus for the Mystery School 2019. This is all teachings from last year, but there will be guided live teacher calls every week with Pillai Center teachers. So I asked Dr. Pillai if he would do 4 live calls with this new group from 2019, and he said he would. So yay, that means not only do you get 12 recorded live calls from last year that Dr. Pillai did, 12 of the teachings that Dr. Pillai did last year, you get 4 live group calls with Dr. Pillai this year. So you're actually getting more in this course than probably any other mystery school course we have ever done. So that's that. So it's a great blessing. Like I said, we're just giving away, doing as much as we possibly can during this time to help everyone be supportive. Of course, if people haven't yet signed up for the Mystery School 2020, which is called Science of Miracles, that starts May 1st, with the first teaching being released on May 3rd. So that's still open for enrollment. And that's where Dr. Pillai will be teaching and guiding live for the 12 months starting in May. So that's everything I want to say. Now I want to see what questions you may have. I'll go to our chat page. Please post any questions. Veronica said there is many free teachings on YouTube. Absolutely, there are. There's so many. There's so many free teachings on YouTube and Facebook from Baba himself. Thank you, Emily. I'm glad you enjoyed the webinar. Yep, and Veronica's mentioning the Shreem Brzee chanting call that I said before, which is 8 a.m. Pacific time every Friday. Melissa Love, thank you. She's saying, I spent about 3 years absorbing a plethora of free teaching from Dr. Pillai and his teachers, all on YouTube. Shreem Brzee chants that'll help you get into alignment with divine abundance. You can play the chants in the background and passively receive the benefits. Absolutely. Thank you, Melissa. All right, any questions? Please post them. Catherine's asking, does the material in the new Varahi course include the 2019 year-long? Does the material in the new Varahi course included in the 2019 long program? No. So there is Varahi in that program, in that course. It's just different content. So if you are, if you want to get into the year-long program, you don't need to take this Varahi course. You can just do that one. Varahi will be handled throughout those 12 months. She's one of the modules. It's different actually, but the content that's in this new Varahi course is different from the one that was in the 2019 Mystery School. So I would just do the 2019 Mystery School. It has everything if you need. There's no coupon code for Varahi. It's already marked off. So if you go to the page, it's already half price. Emily, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about the Varahi course. Like I said, she just wanted to she wants to be known. Subhash said, life is hard for everyone right now. Try some of the free content. Yes, absolutely. These are, I mean, I hope I've given you enough information that you, on this archetypes page, we're giving you a little bit about the archetype, the mantra to use, and in some cases, links to the mantra for Dr. Pillai. And this will help you just get started. If you go and search on that archetype in the Pillai Center YouTube channel, you'll most likely find additional free content on Dr. Pillai teaching about it. There's so much free content out there from Dr. Pillai that I wanted to pull it all together though, because he has mentioned over the course of several weeks a variety of archetypes. So we're pulling it all together so that you get a summarization of them, and then you can pick and choose which ones work best for you. Veronica said, yes, Varahi is coming strong. I feel she is helping our planet. Any other questions? Let me see if there's anything on YouTube. How can I be of service in Dr. Pillai's research and learn? I can't do a lot of finance, but I can give service. Oh, that's really beautiful. So if anyone wants to be of service to Dr. Pillai or the Pillai Center, you write to office@pillaicenter.com. You put volunteer in the subject line, and then in the body of the email, just tell us what it is that you would like to do, what kind of talents you may have, what kind of service you'd like to be, what would you like to offer. Kalyan is asking how to overcome tough times. Well, I hope that this whole webinar was about how to overcome tough times, where you're calling upon an archetype, you're asking for help. The more you call upon one, and so my suggestion is also to pick one that you feel more naturally attracted to, or the qualities of that being that you really want to attune to. And the more you focus on them, the more you focus on them, the more you focus on them, the more they'll become more alive for you. And then they will guide you. James is asking, if we're doing the 2020 mystery school, should we be getting these individual archetype modules? No, they're not included because we don't know yet what Dr. Pillai is going to teach in the 2020. But if you're in 2020 mystery school, I would just leave it at that. Stay in that course, do that course. It's going to be the most up-to-date kind of engaged teachings with Dr. Pillai. That's your all in with Dr. Pillai. And he'll give whatever is needed at the time. Yugen is saying, thank you. My regards to Dr. Pillai and his beautiful work. Varahi. Yes, Varahi. Julie is asking, thanks for the webinar. Is it better to connect with all the archetypes that we love every day, or is it more powerful to focus on one? It's really up to you, but when you focus on one, just like I was saying, you get an opportunity to go a little deeper with them, because you may be kind of chipping away at whatever's blocking you between you and them. And then you get more and more experiences, kind of like the Pajumale Swamigal saint or Siddha that I mentioned earlier in this lifetime, which wasn't that long ago. He was so into Muruga. That's all he thought about, all he chanted, all he prayed to. And then Muruga was giving him miracles. So oftentimes we hear more about the saints, the Siddhas, who focus in on one being, and that gives them ultimate power because they have a single focus on that one archetype. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have a couple, but if you have, like, say 10, like everything that we just did, and you're focusing on them every single day, it's not as deep as focusing one at a time. That's also why in the 2019 Mystery School, the Invoking God, Saints, and Angels, we focus on one at a time. So you're starting with one, you're kind of immersing. And you go to the next one, you're immersing. That program will guide you through, I think it's 10 different archetypes within the course of a year. So it is a lot, but it's also very powerful teachings. So if you're doing that program, fantastic. If you're doing one of the other programs, I would do a deep dive as much as you can and stick with one for like a month. Julie's asking, is the Varahi course similar to the Brzee extension? There was not a meditation given in Brzee extension. We did chant the mantra. And so it's the same mantra, the Om Shreem Brzee Shri Swarna Varahi Deviye Namaha. But you'll get a new meditation and new teaching from Dr. Pillai. So someone's asking, how do I access the free content? So on one of the pages that I put up there, there's all the free stuff for, I know on YouTube you don't get links, but we'll put it in the description here where you can go, in description in YouTube where you can go to the links. But if you go to pillaicenter.com, there's a free menu tab and it's really long. There's a lot of free stuff. You can click there and also go to YouTube Pillai Center, and there's just, I think, 1,000 videos. There's a lot of content. How can we get a connection with Ma Varahi? As I've been meditating on the Sri Yantra and I want to go deeper. Use her mantra that is on that page. Visualize her, imagine her, read about her, talk to her. That's how we connect. We're connecting with archetypes the same way we would connect with, let's say, a person, right? You want to speak to them. You want to say their name. You want to offer them things that they like. So each of these different archetypes like different offerings, but they mostly all like something sweet. You have a puja table, you can do that. We teach you in the courses how to set one up. Otherwise, a clean surface, something to put your visual representation of the beings on and offer light, incense, food, water, and flowers. So you can make offerings, you can call upon them, and then speak to them. Dr. Pillai talks a lot about like creating a relationship in a way that you can just speak with the god or goddess, the saint, regularly. That's how he does it. He'll dive deep into a different archetype or being, and then immerse himself so much. And he'll do it for like anywhere from a month to a year. Like he really goes in, and that's where sometimes these courses are birthed, because he has like fully immersed himself. Like last year it was, he did the Varahi, he did Angali. A few years ago, he was so into Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and recorded, did retreats on it. So, and then that course came out of that. So we have, that's how you do it. Following his lead on how he connects with archetypes is to see whichever one's coming to you, if you can feel that intuitively, or which one you're more attracted to, and go towards that one, and then consume. Learn as much as you can about them, chant their mantra, praise their name, and make offerings. If you're not into offerings or altar, just their name, visualizing them, connecting with them, speaking with them, just like a person, right? You need to, in order to cultivate and maintain a relationship, you need to be in communication. You need to have something going on with that person. Like if you didn't call your mom for 10 years, you probably not be happy about that, right? Like, if you didn't stay in touch with a friend, they probably wouldn't be someone maybe that they knew you could rely on, or that they could rely on you, right? The friendship might suffer. So that's how you're connecting. Does Varahi have a yantra? I don't know, because we have not offered one, so I'd have to Google it just like you. I'm not really sure. Probably. Most of them do. A yantra is a sacred geometry version of the energy of the archetype. We do sell little statues though. What is the order to make the offerings to our statues on our altar? So the first thing you want to do is light the lamp. I know this because I got in trouble by Dr. Pillai for starting to making offerings without the lamp lit. So you always want to, Brzee, you always want to light your lamp first. And then after that, I usually do the lamp, and then incense. And I'm not sure, honestly, I'd have to consult a Vedic, someone who knows more than I do, but and Dr. Pillai didn't give us specific instructions on which one had to be done, except for the lamp has to be first. So I usually do the lamp and then incense. I make sure the water is there actually beforehand. Clean water gets put on the altar. So then, actually my order is make sure the clean water is there, light the ghee lamp or candle, put a little drop of water on the beings or the yantras, whatever's there, and the clean water, put a little drop on the food that you maybe have, because the water should go on as a cleansing thing. then the incense, and then I do flowers, and then the food. The food is last. That's just how we do it. I don't know if that's correct from the perspective of a priest. Larry said, thank you for the great webinar. I purchased the Varahi course already and going to join the 2019 year-long course. Should I keep the Varahi? If you want to start the Varahi first, because Varahi is going to be in May and then the year-long course starts in June, you could keep it. If you want to save the money, you don't have to keep it. We'll refund you. Let's see, any other questions? Okay, I'm back on the chat, the viewing page. Okay, so is there any way we can have Varahi group meditations or chanting? You know what? That's a really good suggestion. Thank you, Subhash. I'm going to suggest to our weekly free chanting call support team that we can add some Varahi chanting there. That would be fantastic. I think that would be a really great thing we can do. Sherry's asking, is the Varahi meditation and teaching new from Dr. Pillai? It is from October 2019. If you attended that course in person, if you purchased that online version of the course, then you have these teachings. We just pulled them out and made a separate unit so that it was more affordable and that we could focus in just on Varahi. Okay, and then there's, yes, so thank you, Bhakti put a note or put a link in the viewing page chat, which is the link to the daily coronavirus Nashi Mashi chanting that is happening every day, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Yes, Vibjor, if you want to have your Varahi course refunded, just let us know. Okay, here's a guest at the chat saying, when we connect to the energy, how do we actually materialize the blessing of the energy and achieve what is offered by the energy to us? How should I move forward once the energy gives us direction? I think I'm not sure on some of those words, but I'll do the best I can. So how can, when we connect with energy, I'm assuming with the archetype, how do we actually materialize the blessings of the energy? That will come through your connection with the being. So they will guide you or you will be moved to take some action, or you consciously make yourself do something that is supported by the archetype. So for example, you're chanting the Varahi or you're chanting Shreem Brzee, I'm using these as material examples. And then maybe you get an idea that says like, well, I should go post my services at this particular place. Now, this idea probably came to you because of your chanting, because of your connection with the archetype. So the energy is working. It's materializing first in the form of a thought or an intuition. However, if you don't take action on that, nothing may happen. So this is one way. The other way is that if you something might just occur for you. So through your dedication and and you're connecting with the archetype, the energy can just come and happen. I'll give you an example. Like I'm in this beautiful home in Mount Shasta during quarantine. I didn't take any actions to do this, but I do chant Shreem Brzee a lot. I play it constantly. I chant Varahi a lot. I play the mantra constantly. And this materialized without me having to do something about it, right? It was a gift. So sometimes blessings show up as gifts in your life because of the result of your actions, your connections, your chanting. Or another example is, you're chanting and then, like I said, an idea comes, but now you have to act upon that idea in order to get the fruition from it. So I hope that is answering your question. Brendan said, all women I know love wine. So is it okay to offer wine to Angali? In fact, you're onto something, Brandon, because wine is okay to offer to Angali. I wouldn't suggest offering wine to other beings, but like pomegranate, wine, red things, because they symbolize blood essentially. And Angali is a fierce goddess and she's been known to consume things. So I think it's okay if you offer her wine. And if you're doing with love and heart, that's okay. As a general rule, folks, we don't want to offer alcohol or meat or non-vegetarian things to the divine beings. Unless there are exceptions to that rule. There are some archetypes who like that and some who do not. So I'm not going to get into who likes it and who doesn't right now. Just as a general rule, keep alcohol and non-veg out of your offerings. Any other questions? Yes, also there's someone just reminded me there's a Varahi. We're creating a private Facebook group for those who purchase the course so that we can stay in touch with you all the time during that course. I'll be popping in there. We have support people, reminders of your calls, reminders of the meditation, etc. Julie says, I love Varahi, Shreem, Brzee, and Brzee. Different aspects of Lakshmi, according to Dr. Pillai. In that case, is it better to focus on one or okay for all of them? Because they are basically a similar archetype, it's okay to be focusing on any of them because you're still kind of going down a single path with that. So yes, if you're really into Brzee, Shreem, Brzee, Lakshmi, Varahi, you can stick with those mantras. What I do is I have a few different mantras, Brzee, Shreem, Brzee, Varahi, and then they play constantly. All right, any other questions? I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that you're able to walk away with values that you can start implementing right now on connecting with the archetypes, how you can do that, connecting with all the free and paid ways that Pillai Center is offering services right now in this time of need. You know, what's really important is making sure you're connecting with your community, with your loved ones, staying well, staying mentally on top of, you know, what's going on so that you're not consumed by fear. This is one of the reasons that Dr. Pillai gave the coronavirus Nashi Mashi mantra so that it can get fear out of our lives. And this is another free opportunity that you can do is the chanting every night with that mantra. Catherine says, I thought I saw a link for a Shreem Brzee course. Is that available? There's a free Shreem Brzee course available right now, but thank you actually for reminding me. We're in the works of creating a new Shreem Brzee course. Dr. Pillai wants to put new Shreem Brzee teachings and meditation out there now because of what's going on. And we're going to announce that in a couple weeks, but he will also be doing a live free session in May because we're meeting up. So thank you for mentioning more about Shreem Brzee that I can talk about. We're meeting up with a power time in May. Next, how I said the sun moved into Aries is a time for the sun's power for the first house of the zodiac, which is your personality, which is appearance, kind of dealing with kind of these outer things. When the sun moves into Taurus, which happens in May, mid-May, this is a time to focus in on money or gains, material support. And we'll be talking more about Shreem Brzee at that time. We'll host a live webinar with Dr. Pillai during that time. And we'll talk a little bit more about a course that he's developing for Shreem Brzee. So right now, the course that you could join is Shreem Brzee Collective, which is going to be active through the end of May. Those are chanting calls and a meditation. But for the new teachings on Shreem Brzee, they'll be released soon. And there's also a free Shreem Brzee. It's called the Shreem Brzee Starter Kit. And that's totally free. You can use its meditations and teachings in there too. And the meditation is done by Mohini. Any other questions? Here's a comment on YouTube. A few times Ganesha possessed me and I think he was trying to help me out with my problems. Yeah, totally. If an archetype really comes and possesses you, it's a great gift. You know, as long as it's also a positive experience, it's a really great gift. Which archetype is best to remove procrastination? Someone who probably needs like a bit of a fighter. So any of the archetypes that I mentioned earlier that you feel more connected with, maybe Varahi, maybe Narasimha, someone who's got a little more power punch to them. If procrastination is something that you've been really, dealing with for a very long time, you probably want a little something extra. All right, questions. We have some comments. Babaji is amazing. Yes, he is. How to activate chakras by divine help. When you do some of the meditations that Dr. Pillai has given, he often puts the archetypes or mantras into different chakras. And for me, that helps to activate them, helps to kind of create more energy moving in them. And that's how you can do it. So for example, in the Muruga Immersion course, he talked specifically about chakras and Muruga, going into them and activating them. There was a different mantra and a different meditation per chakra. And there were 6 different aspects of Muruga. So that course very specifically talks about chakras, how to activate them through the divine grace of Muruga. So yeah. All right, any other questions? Oh, if you have any error, like I just see that someone had an error with purchasing the Varahi course, just write to us, office@pillaicenter.com. There's plenty of time. Our staff will come in tonight in India, which is Sunday night US times, and we'll get it handled because the course itself doesn't start until May 1st. So there's plenty of time, but we want to, of course, get you access to it. So we'll turn that around quickly. So just write in if you have any issues. Someone mentioned something, I want to talk about this. I recently stumbled on a mantra for Kali, and when I chanted this for the first time, well, they didn't say what else after that, but I do want to warn you that there are certain archetypes who are very fierce, and Kali is one of them, where she is so dedicated to your enlightenment that she may take things from your physical world in order for you to achieve your enlightenment. Dr. Pillai cautions on connecting too deeply to archetypes like this because he knows very well we have to support ourselves with physical material things. This is also why he suggests Angali versus Kali. Angali is an aspect or version of Ma Kali, but a more benevolent form. So if you're drawn to Kali, then Angali is the goddess that you want to connect with, not necessarily Ma Kali in her fiercest, unabridged, unchained version. So you just want to be careful with that. He also just suggests to stick to more of the benevolent gods and goddesses as a general rule, because they're supporting it to more of a 200% life, material and spiritual. He also mentioned if you pray to Angali or Kali for personal wealth, they will not give it to you. It will not work like that. You can only pray to them for wealth, for the world, for missions, for projects, for someone other than yourself. So if you want your personal finances to improve, you stick with Lakshmi, Varahi. the versions of any aspect of Lakshmi, you stick to her if you want your own personal wealth to improve. If you have enough wealth or aren't worried about it, then you can pray to Angali or Kali for wealth for feeding the world, wealth for Dr. Pillai's mission to end suffering on the planet, wealth for things bigger than you. That's where you go to those goddesses. Okay, I hope I make that clear. I just want to make sure everyone feels, understands that there is, could be some alternate reactions to praying to certain beings in certain ways. That's why in this webinar, we talked all about the safe ways that you can connect with the archetypes that have been recommended more recently by Dr. Pillai. Okay. Any other questions? That was a good question. Thank you for mentioning Makali. I want to get the program, but I would like to stay connected with other archetypes that I've used in the past. Either one is fine. Either one is fine. If you want to go deeper into the archetypes you've kind of used, if you want to try something new, you never kind of know how it'll go. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. However, I will be live on YouTube. I will be live on Instagram and Facebook at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is in about 40 minutes from now. So if you want to connect, we'll talk about more Shreem, Brzee, Varahi type of content. Today actually happens to be a power day. We'll talk a little bit about how to use the energies of today to cleanse our karma. And thank you so much for being here and bringing your amazing energy and being part of this. I just want to see if there's any last questions. Is Varahi also a ferocious goddess? Is she nice and easy to please and give us? Yes, she's a performer goddess. She acts quickly. She is ferocious and not ferocious, not like a, she's not ferocious, but she's a protector. So she has weapons, but I wouldn't call her ferocious. What are your thoughts about connecting with Horus, the Egyptian archetype? Dr. Pillai went to Egypt in 2010 and was all about the Egyptian gods and goddesses. We prayed to Horus and Ra and Isis and a variety of them. So yes, if you're connected, you have a connection with them, then by all means, go ahead and use that. A lot of the archetypes have similarities. So if you look at Isis and Lakshmi or Venus, right? Aphrodite, Isis, Lakshmi are a similar archetype in different cultures. So yeah, it's great. All right, folks, thanks so much. I hope this was helpful. Write us, office@pillaycenter.com if you have any additional questions. And join me every Wednesday and Sunday on Instagram and Facebook. And then we'll be putting out a schedule. Join the coronavirus Nashi Mashi chanting every day at 7 p.m. Pacific. The prayer call, the last prayer call is happening next Sunday, the April 26th at 9 a.m. There's a whole page of all the free support ways that Pillai Center is putting out to help support you during this time, including this webinar, so you can learn how to connect with archetypes of protection that can help you during these times. Stay safe, stay sane. We love you. We're here for you, and have an amazing week. Namaste.